Hey out there to our podcast listeners and to the folks catching us on the Edge Radio US. I just wanted to mention real quick that this episode has bonus content. So when you get to the very end of the show and you hear that iHeart sounder, don't stop. It's an extra 38 minutes of silliness with me, Dave, and Danny Flamingo, our guest. So stick around and enjoy. Thanks.
Resistance is futile.
Boldly going where no show has gone before. This is The Week in Geek with David D. Squared and Brian Held. Heard live on News Talk 99.5 WRNO and the iHeartRadio app. Here are your hosts, Brian Held and D. Squared.
Greetings, people of Earth. This is The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm your host, D Squared, along with
Brian Held.
Brian Held. How are you, buckaroo?
Man, I'm great. I had a fantastic weekend because it was my birthday on Friday.
It was your birthday? How come nobody told me? Nobody tells me anything.
Yeah,
I don't know these things.
You didn't pay attention. Facebook tells me when everybody's birthday is.
Okay.
But I have to say a big thanks to Alicia and Tim over at the Bad Wolf because I stopped by their Christmas party on Friday and they gave me a cake.
Oh, how sweet.
And then Kat and Alex over at the Yule Ball, I stopped by there and they got the band to play me Happy Birthday. So,
wow.
Yes.
How are you not just nursing a gargantuan hangover right now?
Because I'm a pro.
Oh, I see what you did there. All right, let's lay out the show here, man.
All right, so we're going to start it off with top nerd news.
Yep.
And then we're going to have our boy Skungy and his pick of the week.
Maybe.
Then we have a very special in-studio guest, Mr. Danny Flamingo, the Shalmation sensation.
Is that who he is again?
Yes.
Again, it never changed.
Yes.
Never changed.
And then we'll close it out with This Week in Geek History.
But first... And now, your top nerd news stories from around the world, brought to you by the Viridian Tea Company. Find them on Etsy. And now, your top nerd news stories. All right, Brian, what's topping us off tonight?
Well, so I was surprised that you didn't realize Amazon Prime had a special preview viewing of Aquaman on Saturday. And
wow.
So if you're a Prime member, you were able to order, tickets for the special engagement, and we went out and saw it.
Well, dang it. Just like I didn't know it was your birthday, I didn't know I could get tickets for that either.
Right. So,
Rockin' frickin' rock 'em.
Whoever's not a Prime member can, of course, it'll come out Friday.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll go see it with the plebes.
Yes. But I wasn't going to say it like that.
Yeah, you were.
But, a bunch of people asked, like, how was it? And, well, I was like, tune in and listen. So I thought it was good. I thought that I was watching a comic book, like kind of a Silver Age sort of comic book.
Okay.
And it was a decent story. I think that the writing was a little subpar insofar as that I was finishing character sentences, right? Because it just felt very sort of comic book formulaic, right?
Well, it's a comic book movie, right?
Well, it is, but
I don't think you're going to get too shocked by the dialogue.
Well,
it's like, look, it's a TARDIS.
Right.
Wait, what?
I think the MCU has done a really good job of kicking things into high gear and kind of not completely staying canon to the comic books and expanding on what we have visually.
Right.
Whereas I think Warner Brothers is still playing catch up. But honestly, considering all the goose eggs that they've put out, this one is really good. Right, it's visually spectacular. It really kind of lays out things.
Yeah, I heard it was kind of campy, but in a good way. Like it was nowhere near the tone of Justice League on Quaaludes and then whatever the hell else they decided to give us.
It doesn't just have that gritty realism that WB was trying for, and it's just fun. It was enjoyable to watch.
Well, it's interesting because I heard. I read that some people were. That this movie almost kind of saves maybe the possibility of a Justice League 2, where they're starting to lay the groundwork for some more of these, like Wonder Woman was well received. Obviously, Aquaman, it's probably going to be well received because it's kicking ass in China.
Yeah, and that's actually Danny and I were talking about this before the show, where I think that Wonder Woman and Aquaman, if you just took those two and kind of reboot it from that direction, I think that WB will be on a good path. So,
well, yeah, I mean, look, they Wonder Woman and Aquaman have hooked up before, man. Bow
Yeah.
chicka wow wow.
With the correct writing, you already have established characters like Superman, Batman,
Right.
and yes, they've been murdered over the past few years. But with two solid characters like Aquaman and Wonder Woman, and then rewriting and doing better than obviously what we know they can do,
Yeah.
we'd all be okay with a new Justice League movie.
Yeah.
Like,
and then,
let's be honest.
then you've got the trailers for Shazam that are popping up, and that looks pretty funny. Like, I watch a trailer.
Yeah, that looks fun.
You said DC was catching up.
Yeah.
Warner Bros. catching up. Think about it this way. The Avengers 4 trailer was the most watched trailer ever with over 289 million views in 24 hours.
You know, what's interesting, though, is kind of leapfrogging off of that, though. NASA. Poor NASA. It's been in the crossfires for just so long right now.
Right.
But they're finally getting it back because you had that D-bag over there in California, Steph Curry, saying that, we never landed on the moon, and he was deadly earnest about it. NASA called him out. They're like, hey, man, why don't you go here? We'll show you our moon rocks and stuff. But, of course, NASA came to the rescue again. They're willing to go out there and rescue Tony Stark.
I know.
No man left behind.
I
That's
know.
awesome.
It's dedication. It's dedication, man.
That is. Now, I wanted to mention, too, so this morning, I got a chance to see Mortal Engines, Peter Jackson's film, and I thought that was really cool because...
Jesus, how many movies did you see this weekend?
I wish I had half that time, dude. I
swear
ain't
to
about to
God,
lie.
amen,
like,
brother.
really, dude. Like,
you gotta maximize your time.
Yeah, whatever.
is
Don't
that the
have
one with the
kids.
cities that drive?
Yes.
It looks pretty cool, I'm not going to lie.
So I think it had a really good steampunk vibe to it, which we don't always get good steampunk movies.
Never.
And I think this was really cool. Hugo Weaving was like the main villain, and it's Hugo Weaving, right? He's freaking awesome.
Mr. Anderson.
Exactly. And yeah, it was a great cast, good acting, great story.
I've heard it's tanked like 7 or 8 million thus far. I mean, that's the definition of tanking a movie right now. And I don't think it might be the movie's fault. I haven't seen it, but I've heard a lot of people just kind of they don't understand. It's not being well received because a lot of people might not really understand it.
Possibly.
It's on the movie to explain it. I think Warner Brothers, that's something they screwed up. They just assume that you know everything about Batman and Superman, and then you get the obligatory, here's how he was made.
It's bad when your TV shows do better than your movies. Your
The Flash
blockbuster
TV
movies.
series is great,
Oh,
man.
Jesus.
Look, oh man,
Arrow, and aren't we supposed to be getting
and
Batgirl?
I'm so way behind, but yeah, she showed up in the Elseworld stuff. So
Yeah?
people lost their collective minds
Can't
on
wait.
that as well.
Now, y'all watch the Teen Titans? The Titans?
No.
Well,
I've been
Titans.
keeping. I'm about
Batman.
one episode behind.
I heard. I saw something with Batman. That Batman popped up in it. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
the trailer. Apparently, Batman has
Next week,
gone
yeah.
rogue, and so they might have to take down Bats.
Dude, how cool is that? How many shows have we watched and waited to see The Dark Knight on TV? Come on, let's be honest here.
Yeah, true. But I mean, dude, have you watched the Titans?
I haven't seen an episode.
Yeah. Okay. Look, dude, it goes in between. Like I'm watching an episode and I'm like, I'm strangely intrigued to find out the next one, and then I watch the next one and I'm like, that was a raging dumpster fire. Like there's no kind of middle ground. I mean, look, when you have Robin walk into this dude's house, this innocent man who just doesn't want to talk to the cops because he's a detective, and he busts his way in and starts pounding this dude in the face. Right, looking for Raven, yeah, and then you hear "Daddy," and then his kid runs in and grabs him, and Robin kind of backs off, and the dude looks at him and is like, "I'd never hurt a child," because Raven's a kid,
right?
And he just backs off, and then Starfire kind of walks in there, looks at him, reaches into her pocket, pulls out money, and just hands it to him, like paid him off to be quiet, and then they leave. Like that was a scene in like episode 3 of Titans.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
That's
so
crazy.
I don't even, and then Robin is just all dark and brooding and murdering everybody. It's like, yeah, I'm like,
well, maybe this Batman is where he got those bad habits from.
well, it is. No. That's why he left. What are we talking about next?
Bumblebee, the new Transformers movie. So look, the Rotten Tomato scores are in. They're kicking some ass thus far. And look, just from the trailers alone, at first I was just like, Jesus, yet again another Transformers movie we didn't ask for. But at least this time, they look like the Transformers that like we all grew up with.
Yes.
Bumblebee looks like Bumblebee. Optimus looks like Optimus. Starscream looks like freaking Starscream. The Snozberries taste like Snozberries.
There's 40 reviews in, 39 fresh, 1 rotten, so it's currently at 98% on Rotten Tomatoes.
You know, that's good though.
I might be the only idiot on the planet. Is it a prequel?
No.
It's a reboot.
Yeah, it's a reboot, and actually, it's taking place in 1987, and so it really is. They're restarting it, and so there's no Michael Bay, so there's not giant explosions just because he had the extra money and gasoline lying around,
Or barely dressed women.
Yes.
Yeah.
So look, I think this movie could be. It could be a good starting point because Hasbro wants to start doing a whole bunch of stuff with their properties as opposed to just kind of farming it out and letting people just murder our childhoods. So I'm fine with that.
Well, minus what you showed me before we went on the air.
Right.
Oh, my goodness.
What's that?
Tell me.
My beloved Thundercats.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Thundercats roar.
It looks like...
That is just awful.
It looks like the Steven Universe is what it looks like. That looks like a...
Or Teen Titans Go. It is the same.
Teen Titans Go is funny, though.
Yeah, I know, but it's just the same visual quality that Flash animation
I don't know.
stuff.
You know what? If it's like Teen Titans Go, I might actually watch it then.
Okay.
Teen Titans Go, you know what you're getting, though. You know you're getting potty humor, and, I like pie.
Right.
That's great.
But Thundercats was never like that.
No, it wasn't.
Well,
And
neither
that's
were the
what
Teen
bothers me.
Titans.
Yeah.
They didn't stop and just break in a song when they were fighting people. Really.
All right.
Look,
Well, there's that. How do you argue with that? Right?
Yeah, right.
Plastic Man, the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't he on Flash?
Was he?
Yes, he was.
See,
Well,
I don't watch.
He's not the actual Plastic Man. That's that. He's not the actual. He's like a one-off from him, who's not as powerful as Plastic Man. And that's the interesting part, though, is that with all look, I don't think I've ever read a Plastic Man comic, but I remember the Saturday morning cartoons of him. I used to love the characters because he was fun. How do you make? I don't know. I mean, I guess if Shazam can maybe lay the groundwork, then maybe we could have eventually maybe DC outgrows its goth phase and
Right.
just stops cutting itself in the corner and starts making fun. Drink a little Colt 45, get out there, enjoy life.
Yeah.
Come on, DC.
But yeah, DC has confirmed that a Plastic Man movie is in the works, but we don't have any dates or anything.
No, but I mean that's the interesting part, though. When you look at that at their DC slate of movies coming out, I mean, we're still not getting Wonder Woman 84 until 2020.
Right.
I mean, there's not a whole lot on their plate as of right now. They're working on a whole bunch of stuff, but we got Birds of Prey. I thought she was joking, but that is the entire title. The Great Emancipation or whatever the hell it is of one Harley Quinn.
Yeah, well, and then
Is that the next Suicide Squad movie, or is that?
No, it's Birds of Prey. It's the all female crew.
Oh, the Poison Ivy, Catwoman, and Harley.
I believe so. And then you've got that Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie that's being worked on.
Man, I still don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that one will actually be pretty good. I like Joaquin Phoenix. I think he could pull it off. It's better than Leto. Leto sucked ass as a Joker.
It was terrible.
That was the worst incarnation of the Joker I've ever seen.
I didn't think it was terrible.
No, it shows that DC and the people that they're selling the licensing to don't understand the property. Look, Joker was never a mass murderer per se. It's like he wanted to mass murder people, but in a fun way. And if it got foiled, it's like, whatever. Now I'll just go knock over a 7-Eleven because I'm bored and I'm the Joker.
He's schizophrenic. He's not a gangbanger.
Right. And
Okay, I can give you that.
He's not just like DC is, a goth emo cutting himself in the corner. He's in that movie. He's just got all these knives around him. He's not the freaking Joker, man.
Yeah.
Ugh. Good Lord. All right.
Wait, hold on.
What?
I can't leave this on a bad note like that.
What?
So what did you think of Harley Quinn then?
She was all right. She did good enough. I mean, it wasn't like, wow, best Harley Quinn ever. But, I mean, I think it was, look, I liked her as that. I think if given more time, she might be able to make that character something more. I think they over-sexualized it, just, and
I agree with that.
That was like all the trailer had to do was her taking off her top and everybody stopping to stare at her. I almost said that.
Yeah.
Her knockers.
I did think the pudding scene when she gets the The necklace.
You're ruining date night. That's awesome.
We're bad guys.
Yeah,
So,
right.
yes.
We're bad guys.
We're bad guys. Oh, yeah, no, that was blah. Stan Lee's final cameo, man. Stan Lee's final cameo.
Are you sure it's his final cameo?
Well, that's how they were touting it, or at least it's.
So he's in Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, he's the comic book owner, the comic book shop owner. Miles Morales buys the mild spoilers ahead. Mild spoilers ahead. He goes into the comic book shop to purchase a Spider-Man costume,
right.
and he asks Stan, who is the comic book owner, hey, what's the return policy? And he's like, what if it doesn't fit? Can I bring it back? He's like, well, even if it doesn't fit, you will eventually grow into it. And behind him it says no refunds, no returns kind of
right.
deal. But it was kind of like that whole thing with Stan Lee, just the humor and also kind of the bits of wisdom that he wraps into humor. And
right.
that was what made Stan Lee able to make fun of himself, but also able to give you the message, but not slap you upside the friggin' face with said message. It's
right.
like, here's the message. Here's a joke to go along with it, and do with it as you please. And I think that's Stan Lee to the T.
Well, and Into the Spider-Verse also just came out this week, and it's a holiday for nerds here, man.
Oh man, dude, we are racking.
Fantastic.
Yeah, 36 million at the weekend box office right now, and even my boy Carlton, whose nickname is as Atlantis' son,
yes,
likes Into the Spider-Verse more than Aquaman.
Wow.
Yes.
That is actually saying something.
Yes.
All right, so look, we got to take a break.
Okay.
So we'll let Spider-Man take us to break, but also, since Skungy's coming up next, he's a huge fan of spiders, right? I mean, he just loves spiders.
He does.
He wants to huggle and, snuggle and hug
Absolutely.
them and squeeze them tight. Did you know that if all the spiders on Earth worked together, they could eat us all in a year and still be hungry?
Yes.
All the spiders in the world eat like 880 tons of meat.
There's a lot of spiders out there, man.
All of us humans are only like 700 million. They'd eat us all and still be hungry.
That's true. All right, guys.
Sleep tight, little ones.
Stay tuned. When we get back, we're going to have our boy Skungy and his pick of the week. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Life is a great big day. Wherever there's a hang, you'll find a Spider-Man.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as Tea of the Necropolis, Quantum Mechanics, Spider Witch, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
Do you have a message or logo that you need the world to see? Then rely on the folks at Gretna Signworks to use their expertise to deliver your design. With over 15 years in business, Gretna Signworks can do commercial and yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, magnetic signs, vehicle graphics and lettering, and so much more. Gretna Signworks also has an exceptional network of suppliers, so no job is out of scope. Find Gretna Signworks on Facebook or visit them at 2125 Bell Chase Highway today.
Mata Hari, Agent H21 is a spy fiction short story anthology about the famous dancer, seductress, and spy from World War I. Mata Hari, Agent H21, published by Pro Se Productions, has 7 rip-roaring adventure tales about the world-famous super spy that features her battling her enemies by using any weapons at her disposal. Mata Hari, Agent H21 is available for purchase in ebook and paperback formats on Amazon.com.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
Welcome back to The Week in Geek. Don't forget, you can listen to previous episodes on the iHeartRadio app at The Week in Geek Radio Show. Here are your hosts, D Squared and Brian Held.
Welcome back into the Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm your host, D Squared with
Brian Held.
All right, Brian, it is your favorite part of the show.
Absolutely.
I am not what you would call a handsome man.
Skungy's Pick of the Week is brought to you by GameStop and ThinkGeek.com.
Skungy's Pick of the Week.
He might be an idiot savant.
Woohoo!
Skungy, what's shaking, bacon?
I'm going to show you how much I love spiders by next time having a flamethrower.
Nice.
Just to let all the spiders around the world know how much I appreciate them.
You know, Skungy, I shouldn't be hating on you so much right now because A, it's Christmas, so you know I'll throw you the gift wrap bone per se. But actually, Skungy helped me spend more of my money that I don't have.
Really?
I went to go visit him and had to do some Christmas shopping, and now they got Fortnite action figures over there at GameStop. This son of a biscuit eater.
Look, I didn't do nothing. You kept walking around the store going like, you were like Steve Martin in The Jerk. Oh, I need this, and I need this. Oh, and I need
And that's
this,
all
too.
I need is this paddle ball, and that's all I need, and this ashtray. But no, they got some really good stuff over there. But they are having
It's
sales
already
though
sold
too.
out. It's all gone.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Holy crap, knuckle!
Fortnite's
Wow.
the hottest thing out right now, man.
Yep. So hide your kids, hide your parents.
Okay.
Fortnite's
All right.
a coming.
All right. Battlefield 5 is what we're talking about, right, Skungy?
Yeah, we're talking about Battlefield 5 from EA.
Okay.
It's in the game.
Yeah, exactly. Battlefield 5, which is not the fifth entry because video games don't understand the numeric system anymore.
They use metric.
Exactly, it's a metric system. But this is, in the main series, it's the fifth one. They've gone back to where Battlefield started, which is World War II.
Okay. Kind of like, didn't Call of Duty do that recently?
Call of Duty went to World War II the year before, and the last Battlefield was World War I.
Ah, all right.
So it's set during World War II, and it's set through multiple different conflicts. And so Battlefield's always been about its dynamic multiplayer. It's always had like the largest shooter multiplayer. You could play like 64 people
Okay.
in it.
64, we can get 100 in Fortnite. Slackers.
Exactly. You Fortnite, yes, but there's a little bit more meat and potatoes to Battlefield, as you know. You played Battlefield.
No,
Dave.
I have, yes.
So the thing is, it seems unfinished.
Really?
Yeah, it's okay. So let me talk about the good things real quick. The good things is that they've tweaked the gunplay a little bit, where it's more lethal, I would have to say. It's they've done an attrition system where health and ammo are a lot scarcer, so it's a lot more. It's harder to play it, but that could be a good thing. They're also going to have a bunch of free maps available for it. They're not going to have like the premium pass like they've done in the past. They're going to have all the maps coming out are going to be free, and the game modes are going to be free.
That doesn't sound
I
bad.
know.
That doesn't.
Sounds like the
but
opposite of bad.
Yeah.
The game feels rushed.
All
There
right.
are some game-breaking bugs in this game.
So wait, are they catching cooties off of Bethesda?
Maybe. I mean, it just seems like they're kind of just throwing games out there without.
Well, that's
even finishing.
industry-wide now. I think we've all come to that conclusion. I don't know what the answer is until we as consumers say, stop charging us full price for half the product and then make us download whatever you sons of biscuit eaters get around to finishing when you get around to finishing it.
Right.
Well, and normally I would
Strongly
be okay.
worded letters.
I'm right behind you on that one, but at least they're not charging you for anything post-release.
Yeah.
But because of that, it feels like they could just throw out a game and not necessarily where it's not finished. So, we're going to throw it out. We'll fix it in post.
Yeah.
Kind of feeling.
See,
But at least they're
Brian,
not
you don't like
charging
it
you
when I never want to do anything in post. See,
Oh.
I want to give them a finished product right at the beginning.
Yeah.
See?
So, I mean, Skungy, fine, we have a first-person shooter. You said the gunplay is a little tweaked. We're going to get free maps. Who cares, right? I mean, like, we haven't seen 5 bajillion iterations of World War II first-person shooters. Like,
I agree, but with Battlefield, the weird thing I will say is that it is very dynamic. I mean, you've got vehicle
using this
combat.
word. I do not think this word thinks what you think it means.
Yes.
Yeah, meaning the word. It's action packed when you're playing it. It really is cool to play in these large multiplayer games, and it is fun. It is rewarding. It just seems unfinished, and some of it doesn't necessarily seem to fit in. For instance, going to the single-player campaign. Now, the single-player campaign is a thing called War Stories, which unfortunately, well, right now it's finally released. But when the game released, it didn't have all of the single-player campaigns available for you to even play.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
That sucks.
Yeah.
It is now, but if you bought the game on day one, you couldn't get, it's more like you were playing, it was like an African campaign, like Rommel in the desert kind of feel.
So are there several single player campaign missions or something?
There are different. They're called War Stories, and there are a couple of different. They take place in different parts of the. Yeah,
that was like Battlefield 1.
One.
Yeah.
So
it's very similar to that style where you play one person and you go through a story, and then you play another person, you go through their story.
Yeah, right.
But so,
you got a history lesson along with it all. It was fun.
You get a little bit of a history lesson.
It was fun.
And
I like that.
Good. The problem is the single player seems to focus more on stealth.
Okay.
That sucks.
All right. So here's
I'm a bang bang kind
here's
of
a
guy.
shooting game, but don't shoot nobody. Right? Sneak around. So
exactly, like you have to go break into camps, but you want to make sure you disable the alarm and everything, and it just feels and it's challenging. I mean, it is stupid challenging to try to get through one of these levels when you're not trying to trip an alarm or hey, they're going to call reinforcements, and the hitbox is so unforgiving that you're shooting a guy 10 times in the head and he shoots you once and you're dead.
So
kind of thing. It's unbalanced.
I got to ask, when it released, how many of these single-player missions were available?
3.
And how many total are there?
There are now 4.
Okay.
So it was only 1, but they're going to release more once again. One of the shining moments is that they will have more releases in the future.
Wow. So are we, I'm wondering if we're moving into this sort of model where it's like, hey, guys, look, go ahead and pay full price is $60, and we're just going to give you a demo copy out here while we polish some stuff up in the back, and just hang on for a couple months, and then we'll.
PUBG, perfect example. PUBG came out, and you paid $30 for that game, and it wasn't a finished game until last year. Same thing with Ark. Ark you paid $60 for, and it wasn't a finished game. You bought a game preview, and you played through the game. But it had lots of multiplayer stuff, lots of building stuff. But it is a model that is rapidly becoming commonplace.
Well, strongly worded letters to your congressman, or I don't know, how do you convince all the game players to be like, don't buy their half of a game?
We need to get that politician from Hawaii in on this.
No, he's a D-bag. No.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well,
he was the one who thinks kids playing video games is
gambling.
Tantamount to gambling.
Well, that was all the microtransactions.
That was the microtransactions.
I know, but I don't trust him. He's shady.
Okay.
Honestly,
Shifty.
The only way that you're gonna do anything is you have to make noise with your dollars.
Yes.
It's as simple as that.
Yes.
If you don't buy these games, they're not going to do. But the problem is that it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, because you really want to play these games.
You know what, Skungy? I think the answer is to support independent game developers who tell you up front that you're going to get unfinished games.
You know what? That is absolutely true. But like you said, it seems to be, especially this year, a little bit with Bethesda. The whole Fallout 76 fiasco, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
Yep.
And it's got a bad taste in everybody's mouth.
Absolutely. All right, price and platform, Skungy.
It is $60. It's on PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
All right, cool. Well, look, we're not going to fire you, but we got to go.
Yes.
All righty then.
All right. Get out of here. Go back to work.
Yay!
Yay.
Have a great week, Skungy. Thank you. All right, guys, stay tuned. When we get back, our in-studio guest, Danny Flamingo, will join us. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Friends,
Is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as Tea of the Necropolis, Quantum Mechanics, Spider Witch, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at W&Co's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
Do you have a message or logo that you need the world to see? Then rely on the folks at Gretna Signworks to use their expertise to deliver your design. With over 15 years in business, Gretna Signworks can do commercial and yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, magnetic signs, vehicle graphics and lettering, and so much more. Gretna Signworks also has an exceptional network of suppliers, so no job is out of scope. Find Gretna Signworks on Facebook or visit them at 2125 Bell Chase Highway today.
Mata Hari, Agent H21, is a spy fiction short story anthology about the famous dancer, seductress, and spy from World War I. Mata Hari, Agent H21, published by Pro Se Productions, has 7 rip-roaring adventure tales about the world-famous super spy that features her battling her enemies by using any weapons at her disposal. Mata Hari, Agent H21 is available for purchase in ebook and paperback formats on Amazon.com.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
My name is Optimus Prime, and you are listening to The Week in Geek. Autobots, transform and roll out.
Welcome back. This is The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO. I am D Squared along with
Brian Held.
Brian, if we don't let Danny Flamingo talk again, I'm worried he might, put you in some headlock or just break the table and just, boom, just drop him.
No, he actually likes me, Dave.
Oh, is that why I'm in the other room?
Yes.
Oh, it's for your protection.
Oh, you don't like me? You got something wrong? What's up?
You know what? My man here doesn't make me park on the street in New Orleans in the summertime.
You're a big, strapping young buck. You're
and
okay.
On top, no, stop.
Hold on a second, guys.
All right,
Let's introduce our esteemed guest, the one, the only, the Shalmation sensation, Danny Flamingo.
How you doing, Dave? You doing all right, baby?
I'm doing better now.
Now you got that glass in between us, all right?
Now, Danny, of course, you are a WildKat wrestler. You are not champion anymore, right? You did lose that belt.
I lost the Revolution Championship, yes, a while back. Last 2 summers ago.
So former champion would be correct.
That would be correct.
But that's not why you're here today.
No, that is not.
Yes, because what's cool is that every Wednesday that all us geeks should be aware is New Comic Book Day, right? At your friendly local comic shop.
Yes, it is.
And I see this wonderful individual every Wednesday at my comic shop that I go to, Hero Corners.
Is he like punching little kids and stealing their comic books? Is that what's going on out there?
No, he gives the owner a hard time, and it is funny as all
God
get out.
Have mercy.
Oh,
good
yeah.
God have mercy. There's a picture of me in that place, too, hanging up, by the way.
Yes.
Really?
There's a couple places around the city and the next that have my picture hanging up. Why don't you?
All bathroom stalls? What?
Doesn't matter what, it's hanging up.
So the reason that I wanted Danny to come on is he is such a big geek, right? Just like us, and loves comic books and stuff, and Star Trek.
He could at least play my ring music.
He could, but you didn't prep us on that.
I didn't get your playlist. I mean, let me see if I'll see if
What
I
is
got
it?
some Carpenters, right? It's the Carpenters.
You don't know my ring music?
No.
It's the Carpenters.
I went to what? The Carpenters.
The Carpenters. But you don't really know my ring music?
No.
Oh, well then at least one of you have to find out. So I'm gonna show it to you, Dave, and let you pull it up.
Okay.
That way,
So
there's got to be somebody that's surprised in here.
What?
But I'm just saying, somebody's got to be surprised. So if you haven't heard it before, I could have swore you've heard it.
I did see you perform, but I don't recall the specific music you came in on.
He was stunned by your entrance alone, that the music was drowned out by your personality alone.
Is that what you're going with?
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Pretty damn good. You didn't rehearse it or nothing, did you?
No, not at all.
Hold on.
All right.
On the fly, baby. All on the fly. All right, text it to me. You got my number.
All right. So, but we did want to bring you in because you are a huge Star Trek fan.
Immensely.
Yes. And Dave, this is the guest I was talking about last week when you wanted to start talking about the lawsuits and all that kind of stuff. And I said, we got to wait.
Right.
So where do you want to start on the current state of Trek?
Wait, and I'm so happy that we're doing this right now. You have no idea. Did you see the new Discovery trailer?
No.
I personally feel that there is a small chance to save something of Star Trek Discovery.
Really?
Something. So you're fluent. How Trek fluent are you, Dave?
Not on Discovery, not at the moment.
That doesn't matter Discovery.
I'm pretty good.
All right, so check it out. Section 31.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Section 31?
Is that the one that was the library, but it was really like their like not secret police or whatever, but like their research and development?
Do you know what the Obsidian Order is? Or the Tal Shiar?
Yeah, that's
the Tal Shiar
Gamma Quadrant, though.
No. The Tal Shiar is the Romulan secret forces.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So is the Obsidian Order for the Cardassians.
Okay, yeah.
Section just with the Klingons, it's the Order of the Sword or the Order of the Batleth. Okay. Section 31 is the Federation's version of its covert black ops group.
It's officially a non-existent autonomous intelligence and defense
I'm kind of shocked that they
organization.
even have that because the Federation's a bunch of puddings.
Well, yeah, but they also have the time travel cops too. The Federation does.
Yeah,
time cops.
Yeah. But the in the trailer, they say that they are Section 31. Now, with this being said, there's no forgiving the way the Klingons look in the first season.
Yeah, absolutely not.
This season in the trailer, they're fixing it a little bit. There's no fixing the ships unless they do, in which they did. You get to see a D7 class cruiser from the original series in this one, okay? But with them saying Section 31, you get away with so much because nothing that they do is on the books. So it doesn't. They are creating their own canon as they go.
Interesting. So are you saying they can retcon stuff in and out as much as they want?
Spock is a Starfleet officer, and if he is ordered to never speak about the events of Section 31, even if he is out, he will obey said orders.
Yeah.
For life. So he would never reveal Federation secrets.
Yeah.
And him being a part of Section 31 would allow him to do that. And Pike's dead. Pike died before the end of the original series anyway.
Right.
Because Pike is in this, because you got to remember this series takes place 10 years before the original series, before Kirk takes command.
Yeah.
It's a stretch. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's a stretch. But the only show that has not contained an episode having to do with Section 31 is the original TNG.
Okay.
But DS9 is where it started.
Right.
Voyager doesn't have it, I'm sorry, because they ain't a Delta Quadrant.
Yeah.
But Voyager and Enterprise both did Black Ops episodes, Section 31 episodes.
Okay.
So if they want to save it, do I think it's going to save? Probably not. They owe so much money. They screwed Netflix over so bad.
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah, but did they essentially screw themselves by having their own CBS All Access?
CBS no, everybody knew what CBS was doing. I'm not mad about that. It's a business move. I'm a business guy, right?
Yeah.
The problem I have is you tried making. You didn't give us what we've been asking for. It's like the same thing with Power Rangers. Like we were talking when I was talking to the other guy. You got that 14-minute short film that they did, and it pissed off Saban. I'm sorry, forgive me.
No, you're fine.
It made Saban mad. We got a new Power Rangers movie. Wasn't the greatest, but we got it, and we got a few more in the works.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Star Trek. We got Discovery. We got a Picard show coming that said 20 years after Nemesis, we're going to get what we want. Patrick Stewart is directly involved with it.
Yeah. So you're saying Axanar did that, essentially?
Axanar and Renegades.
Yeah, okay.
So we got Discovery.
All right.
Now with Discovery,
all right.
Yeah, but aren't they getting sued now for stealing stuff?
So
you're okay.
Yeah.
So it's I'm never gonna get the names right, but they are separate. So what you have is you have the Prime timeline and you have the Kelvin timeline.
Okay.
The Kelvin timeline
is
the
Romulan garbage man.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
The Kelvin timeline is what the new companies own. separate from the original timeline with all the original stuff, the Prime timeline.
All right.
Okay? Now, when they created the Calvin Timeline movies, all the new stuff, the reboot, they were getting the money off of the sales from just that and all of the merchandise.
Okay.
Now, the problem they had is that with the new Calvin Timeline, none of that merch was selling. All of the original series and the TNG and the DS9 and the Voyager, all of that spiked.
That's funny.
So they were still drowning. Then to make it even worse with Discovery got all of their money for season 1 from Netflix to show it overseas. And it performed terribly.
Huh.
So now Netflix pretty much isn't paying anything for this. To make matters worse, they're getting sued for plagiarism for the first season of Discovery because of the Minotaur. I mean, what's it called?
Tardigrades.
Tardigrades.
Yeah.
The tardigrades. Even the 2 gay characters that are on the show, whoever wrote it ripped it straight from this game. Straight, page for page.
So, and it's an Egyptian video game developer who is suing them. And the name of his game was Tardigrades. It was a point-and-click adventure game, featured a giant blue tardigrade that can instantly transport people across the galaxy. And that's the premise that they stole.
Yes. Then wait, to make it worse, all the investors have backed out. I don't know if we touched on this last time we talked. All the investors are starting to back out. So now Paramount's trying to get new investors in. Well, their crown jewel was Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
We have Thor. And, of course, you have the original cast coming back and everything from the new Calvin movies. Well, Chris Hemsworth says, yeah, that's not happening. I'm out. So Chris Hemsworth's gone. Well, now guess what?
He's doing Men in Black.
The last thing I read was Chris Pine, Captain Kirk. Since they cut the budget, they can't do what they did before. Chris Pine's like, well, if you're not going to pay me what I'm paying, what you going to promise to pay me, I'm out.
That's right. I'm going to go jump on with DC. I got a Wonder Woman 2 coming out.
I
They
can't
brought me
remember if we
back from the
talked about
dead.
that.
Yeah, I think we may have touched on it, but yeah. So let's see. He does say he's interested. That was from September, but
my news could be a little out of date.
Yeah.
But the trailer for Discovery I just saw the other day. I was really excited about that.
He says, I don't know, man. Pine explained, I'd love to be involved. We'll see what happens. I await a phone call. Until then, I look forward to it.
All right,
So-
Danny Flamingo, you got a show coming up, a Christmas show, right?
I do have a Christmas
We're
show
getting
coming
close
up.
to a break, and as much as I enjoy talking to you about this, maybe we'll do some extra content afterwards. But tell us about the show.
The show. Well, when's the last time you guys can remember there was a professional wrestling show Christmas Day?
I don't know.
I don't remember at all.
1948, and it was Jim Johnson versus the Great Kabuki.
You know, he almost had me believing it.
Yeah.
Like he was,
Right.
So you got, it's Christmas Eve, it's Christmas Day.
Okay.
You've already done a dinner with the family. You got.
You got a buzz having to deal with your crazy ass family because, like, I ain't dealing with my family soon.
Now you get to come deal with us.
Nice. That's probably a lot better than my crazy family.
That's going to be at Meisler Auditorium, 3700 Cleary Avenue. Doors at 6, right?
Yes.
How much are tickets?
Tickets, general admission $10. Floor seats are $15, and front row, if you're lucky enough, is $20. To make it even better, I always have tickets on me, so since you've never been to a show in forever, Dave.
Is that
all.
Meisler last? No, it was Meisler last time. That's right there, one block off of Veterans, in between West Esplanade, right?
Right.
See, I've been there.
The idea behind this is that the last time we had a show, last time it was really wrestling was in the 80s when they did Christmas Day and Thanksgiving Day and whatnot.
Right.
So the idea is you ain't got nothing to do but go to the movies.
Right.
We've covered that already. You don't need to go. Christmas Day, you come see WildKat Sports. You come hang out with us, autographs, pictures. It's what we do.
Yes. Cool. Good deal. And any special fights, any championship fights or anything like that?
Oh, always. You got Jay Spade is going to be defending the title. You also have newly crowned Revolution champion, Matt Lancey, back with the House of Harper.
All right.
And on top of that, he's going to defend against Johnny Flex, the former champion.
Cool.
Pump Patrol, your buddy, which, again, when I had both champions in here, what this guy did, he made me park on the street instead of putting me in a parking lot.
And actually, it's not my fault. He walked like an extra 3 blocks just because he was looking to get in a fight. Don't listen to him.
You know, I tell you what.
Casting dispersions upon my good character.
You need Jesus. You need Jesus.
I do. You are correct.
All right. Well, anything else about the show, Danny, before we get to the break?
Well, this is really exciting because this is our very first Christmas show.
Right.
So, I mean, you look at it, these people that come out and they hang out with us, They spend their time with us. Now you get to spend a holiday with us. And like I said, you got the Pump Patrols in action, not just Johnny Flex, but you got the Pump Patrol in action. You also got Fortune 5000 in action. Myself, I'm in a triple threat match.
Uh-oh.
I'm going against Jace Valor and the prodigy himself, Perry Hawks, PJ Hawks.
Wow.
So I get to take on the boss's son.
Nice.
Wow. And that's WildKatWrestling.com. That's cat with a K.
Cat with a K. Cat with a K.
And Facebook, Instagram, you got all that?
Yep, all of that. And Twitter.
All right. Good deal. Fantastic. All right, guys, stay tuned. When we get back, we're going to close out the show as we always do with This Week in Geek History. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO. Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as Tea of the Necropolis, Quantum Mechanics, Spider Witch, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
Do you have a message or logo that you need the world to see? Then rely on the folks at Gretna Signworks to use their expertise to deliver your design. With over 15 years in business, Gretna Signworks can do commercial and yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, magnetic signs, vehicle graphics and lettering, and so much more. Gretna Signworks also has an exceptional network of suppliers, so no job is out of scope. Find Gretna Signworks on Facebook or visit them at 2125 Bell Chase Highway today.
Mata Hari, Agent H21, is a spy fiction short story anthology about the famous dancer, seductress, and spy from World War I. Mata Hari, Agent H21, published by Pro Se Productions, has 7 rip-roaring adventure tales about the world-famous super spy that features her battling her enemies by using any weapons at her disposal. Mata Hari, Agent H21 is available for purchase in ebook and paperback formats on Amazon.com.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
This is Captain Rex, troopers, and you're listening to The Week in Geek. Now move out.
Welcome back into The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm your host, D Squared, along with
Brian Held.
Now, Brian Held, as always, we want to strongly urge people to check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/The Week in Geek. Check out our website at twigradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at twigradio and the Instagram's The Week in Geek. Now, Brian, how can people listen to this lovely show?
Well, if you missed any part of tonight's show, like that interview with Danny Flamingo, or you want to catch it, you can always find us on Spreaker.com or download Spreaker for your smartphone or tablet. We're also on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, rebroadcast on the Edge Radio US, the iHeartRadio app, and at WRNO.com.
Didn't we get like a huge bump over there, like over at the Edge Radio?
Yeah. We got like a ton of friggin' listeners in 71 countries. Yeah, it's like 50,000 listeners last Monday.
All right. But now,
This Week in Geek History.
We're sending you back to the future. Yes! Oh my God!
This Week in Geek History is brought to you by Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, read by Brian Held. Available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. This Week in Geek History.
Yes! Oh my gosh!
dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
All right, I'm going to try to run through these pretty quick, Dave. On my first one, December 10th, 1993.
Whoops.
Oh, come on, Dave.
I'm working on it, and I don't know what's going on tonight. There we go.
All right. id Software releases the first-person shooter Doom for MS-DOS.
Oh, God, that was freaking awesome.
Great. So great.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that was been a long time, and it was just incredible. It estimated 10 million people in 2 years downloaded this game.
Dude, I mean, I remember I didn't even have it at my house. I would go over to my friend's house, and I'd be like, I wouldn't even call before I went over there. I'd be like, I'm just going. And he lived in Gentilly. I lived in New Orleans East. I'd get on my bike, drive, ride for like 20 minutes just to get my ass over there to play Doom.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
And then when he was on there, I'd get over to his house, and he's still on. I'm like, dude, move. Come on. I need my fix.
Uh-huh.
All right, what's next?
December 11th, 1972. Now this can go either way. This is either the last time. This is either the last time this happened, or when the film set got shut down. It's up to you. The Apollo 7 becomes the sixth. Apollo 17 becomes the sixth and final mission to sit down on the surface of the moon. Yes.
Oh, you're out of my time now, but I'm still excited about it.
Yeah.
We went to the moon. Steph Curry, shut up.
Okay, right.
We're going to have a conversation about this afterwards. I do believe we went to the moon.
Okay.
But we need to talk. Because I got to ask you some stuff.
Oh, my God.
I'm with you. We're on the same team. We're on the same team.
You got to guess this one, Dave. You ready?
Right.
December 12th, 1986. He's going to get it. Directed by John Landis and starring Chevy Chase, Steve Martin, and Martin Short.
Oh, she'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. Do you know what a plethora is, El Guapo?
Right.
I don't know, Jefe. The Three Amigos.
Yes, Three Amigos.
God, that's a great movie.
Yes.
Y'all make me feel young. I love you guys so much.
Right,
I love you so much right now.
This one's weird. December 13th, 1994. Apple Computer announces the Pippin video game system specification based on the Macintosh personal computer.
What the what?
That runs a little deeper than my geek goes.
They released a video game system called the Pippin.
Okay.
Its controller was called the Applejack, and it was yes.
That's not a real thing.
Like, I went and looked all this stuff up. It was so terrible.
Did they run this by a focus group at all?
No, it was bad. It totally tanked. The whole project completely tanked.
Wow.
It was, in fact, they ran a company out of business because they licensed this stuff, and they did so poorly. All right, December 14th, 1984. Directed by David Lynch, starring Kyle MacLachlan, Sting, Max von Sydow.
Oh, Doom.
Yes, there you go. I was about to say.
I will kill him.
Uh-huh. When I got the Patrick Stewart, you would have had to have gotten it. All right.
Floating fat man.
The last one on my list, December 15th, 1978. Directed by Richard Donner and starring Christopher Reeve, Gene Hackman, Marlon Brando, and Margot Kidder.
Oh, crap. I wasn't paying attention. Say it again.
Directed by Richard Donner, starring Christopher Reeve, Gene Hackman.
Oh, Superman.
I was about to say, wait a minute, come on now.
No, I was getting something ready because we got to wrap up the show.
All right, cool.
I just had to get some music to go.
All right, birthdays.
out to.
Kenneth Branagh, Ben Browder, Bill Nighy, Steve Buscemi, Charlie Cox, and Anna Catherine Popplewell. Happy birthday. And me.
It is your birthday was 2 days ago.
Yeah, I know.
Stop milking it, all right?
All right.
I'm going to be selfish. That's my ring music.
Nice. Guys, next week we are going to have Marlo Giordana. She's a voice actress from She-Ra.
All right, awesome. Good deal. Till next time, keep your nerd flag raised high.
GFL.
News Talk 99.5, WRNO FM, New Orleans, an iHeart radio station, and the radio home of the Pelicans.
Captain's Log Supplemental. Sunday, December 16th, 2018. I find myself stranded in a studio with Brian Held and Danny Flamingo.
Yes.
End recording. Or start recording.
No, you just let it go. God.
I'm giving it all she's got, Captain. All right, welcome into the supplemental of the Week in Geek. All right, we're getting ready. WildKat Wrestling. Suddenly, Spotlights hit the stage. A man in bright pink clothing storms out, punches Brian right in the face. The crowd goes, wow! What's up, Danny?
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
Clearly secure in your sexuality there with the pink, huh?
Look at Brian coming out swinging.
You know what? And I'll give it to him. It's fine. It's totally fine. I never would have thought in a million years that I would ever be wearing pink. Ever in my life.
Really?
Ever in my life. My godson, his daddy puts him in pink, and his mama, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? And then now, since I'm a pro wrestler, they're like, look! And I'm like, okay.
Did you know in Victorian England, pink was for boys and blue was for girls?
Say what?
Yes.
You're making that up.
I am not. I got it from Jason Carter's mouth today, in fact.
You know what kills me is that he'll start talking on something, and I'm ready to pounce on him and just make fun of him so bad, and he hits me with some stuff like that, and I'm like, damn it.
Right.
Really
so, speaking of pouncing on me, that's one of the things we were talking about right before we started recording.
I know. Boy, this just got sexual really quick.
Oh, my God.
Well, I know you can't help yourself.
I mean,
He's a friend from work.
Yeah.
So, look, we're hanging out. Look, we're hanging out at the comic shop, right? And Tim Lottie's there.
Oh, my God. Here we
Okay?
go. I love it already.
He's signing like his Ghostbusters books. He's got his Night Star stuff. And Danny is just beating this dude down, just under the belt, just rope-a-doping him. Like, and
With Tom.
Right. This is a while ago, dude. And I'm just giggling like just a little kid, man, just laughing. And then, Nick, the guy who owns the place, he'll say something, and Danny turns his sights on him and just starts blasting him. And it goes back to Tim.
It's just so easy, both of them.
Dude, just working him. And here I am. I'm just laughing. I'm not even helping, right? I just can't help myself. Like, I don't like Schadenfreude, but this is a show, right?
Yeah.
Man.
And then those lights turn right on me. And he's like, what about you, huh? And I'm like, what? What you trying to bring? And he's like, you ain't never been to one of my shows, man. What's your problem, man, huh? And I'm like, oh, that's how it is? You got tickets? Because I'll buy them right now. Don't look at me like, and he's like, and then he started backpedaling. He's like, what? I'm like, Nick, give me some money out of the register. Here's my card.
I do
Give me
remember that,
yeah. And all right, well, here's the tickets, man. Like,
I got them in my pocket right now. I never fails. I always have tickets on me for a show.
Right.
And that's the first person to ever be like, I'll buy tickets right now. Because normally I got to be like, oh, you want to go? Great. I got tickets. How many you need? And then there you go. Brian's like, no, I'll put my testicles on the table. Here we go.
Yep.
I can say testicles. That's it.
Yes.
You
No, it's cool. Mr.
Balls, cried the king, and he did too.
My kid loves that. The fact that as long as she uses a medical term in school, she don't get in trouble for it.
Nice.
I'm like,
nice.
you're a little I'm sorry. There we go.
I'll bleep it. It's fine.
Testicles.
Mr.
Watch
Cooper.
your language.
Mr. Cooper just hit me up. He's like, any extra Flamingo content? And I'm like, right now, we're doing it. Yeah. Yes.
Deep breath.
So,
my boy Don. Boy.
Yeah. So, we were talking about Star Trek earlier and stuff. I mean, what's your other big fandoms that you're into?
So, like
play,
like everyone else, maybe a little bit, like everyone else. 92, the original animated X-Men series.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like Jubilee, my favorite character. She was my favorite character. She when I started watching that first episode, I was going through puberty at the same time, so I related. It sucked the fact that it was a chick, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But two people that she was friends with was people I directly identified with, being Rogue and Gambit.
Yeah.
You know, you always want the pretty Southern Belle because I've grown up with Southern Belles all my life, you know.
Right.
And then Remy LeBeau. Granted, I knew no one that spoke like Gambit, and I was from New Orleans.
Well, we don't speak like that.
And people say I'm the closest to it because my accent's so different from being from Chalmette.
Right.
You know, I get it all the time everywhere I go. It's like, where are you from? Where are you from?
You know, it's funny, too, because we were talking about accents earlier today, and somebody's like, you sound like you're from New Jersey. No, I'm from Chalmette, right? Like, we have Jersey down here.
Jersey, Brooklyn, Queens, Boston. So you tell me, does either one of you know where the Chalmette, the St. Bernard Parish accent comes from?
No.
No.
You ready?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Sure. I'm ready.
So, my theory...
It's a theory.
So, the New Orleans crime boss calls Marcello.
Right.
Lived in St. Bernard Parish.
Okay.
Right.
As did the rest of the family.
All right.
Yeah.
Back then, if you wasn't Italian or Irish Dago, you didn't cross the parish line. It was a different time.
Right.
What I tell people is it's an Italian Creole accent.
I could see that. I could totally see that.
We all lived in the same. And again, here we go. We're going to do this, all right? So in that time, allegedly, there was, you had capos that was part of the one New Orleans family,
Right.
and everybody had their territories.
Yeah.
Well, Carl Smasella just decided that he was going to live in St. Bernard Parish.
All right.
And that was the idea is that you are a family man, you had a job, you went to work every day, yada, yada, yada. You look normal to everybody else.
Right.
So again, like I said, the deeper in you got where the boss was at, I mean, I worked for a guy, can't be specific, but I worked for a guy, his dad was a made man, and it was, if he wanted to go party in a quarter, he lived in Kenner. If he wanted to go party in a quarter, his dad had to call a week in advance to make sure it was okay they could go.
Really?
He had to have permission to cross the train tracks.
Wow.
Because he was a civilian, but his father was a made man. So it was a respect thing. So again, when I people ask where my accent's from, it's an Italian Creole accent. The 60s and 70s, the New Orleans crime boss Carl Smasella lived in St. Bernard Parish. So did the rest of the family.
Yeah.
Back then, you didn't cross the line, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, hey, instead of saying water, I say water. Instead of saying ask, I say X. The madder, the tighter, the drunker I get, the thicker my accent is.
Yeah.
And then Danny Flamingo's born, huh?
My ex-wife, whenever the inner Dalmatian in her came out, I knew I was screwed. That was it. I was toast. Game over, man.
And I'm trying to figure out why this West Bank people, it's the same. It's a similar accent. Because people from here, if they don't say St. Bernard first or Chalmette first, they say the West Bank. I get a little offended. I'm not going to lie. I get a little offended. Unless she's hot. If she's hot, it's totally different.
You found me beautiful one.
I'm just saying.
Right.
You got real ugly.
Look, I tell them all the time, man, if you drink a double, I get a little more attractive.
No, jeez.
Not much, but maybe enough.
All right, so animated X-Men in the 90s. And, I mean, Marvel, DC?
I'm a Marvel guy.
Okay.
I think it was primarily because of the X-Men. It was it was what was going on in my life at the time.
Yeah.
It really was. I felt like nobody understood me, nobody listened to me.
Right.
Yada, yada, yada. So, I mean, and it was the coolest cartoon on TV. I mean, Batman the Animated Series, yeah. But, I mean, I'm an X-Men guy, man. I mean, watching the movies and everything, granted, we didn't get what we wanted, but, I mean, everybody wanted Halle Berry as Storm, let's be honest. The wig was terrible, but.
My wife hated Halle Berry as Storm. Like,
really?
Yes, absolutely. Which is, not only as Storm, but as Catwoman, she's like, Halle Berry.
Catwoman was I didn't even watch it, but Halle Berry's fine. That's okay.
But no.
Swordfish, she was topless.
Swordfish
and now
is fantastic.
I like Swordfish. That was a good movie.
Did you see Monsters Ball?
No, but
Monsters
I heard.
Ball was a great movie. Great, make me feel good.
Right.
But that scene was even better. Like, it was pretty. It was really intense.
Yeah.
Like, you had to see those two really good actors. I like Billy Bob Thornton. I mean, that guy's got some serious cred.
Yeah.
I mean, you wear blood.
Yeah.
It's weird.
The
But
blood around their necks, yeah.
But I mean, that dude's got. Come on, man, Angelina Jolie, and I mean, he got to do the scene with Halle Berry. I mean, jeez, him.
So while we're talking about movies, you've had an opportunity to get in some movies around here, right?
Not many, but I have. Venom. I went and seen Venom.
No.
Wait. Get into movies. I did one, and then I did a couple of 1 or 2 TV gigs.
Yeah. Did you do SuperCon?
I did SuperCon. When the hell are we going to get that? It's every time
it's
I
out.
On straight to DVD?
No, it was a limited release in theaters. It was like, I don't know, 12 or 14 locations.
It's on Amazon Prime?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but it is out now. You can watch it, but you gotta rent it or stream it or.
I mean, I'll rent it. I don't want to bootleg it, but
right.
I'm
going to bootleg my own movie.
I don't want to bootleg it. I mean, I'm not going to get. I was an extra. I'm not going to get paid for it. I already got paid. They don't give a damn.
Yeah.
That was good though, because the guy, what's the main guy's name that he was the bad guy for Highlander.
Oh,
and he was the
Kurgan. Oh yeah. Oh God.
What's the actor's name?
Oh, he played.
He was in Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So he comes out with Day-Day behind him, because I don't know the actor's real name. Day-Day and Brodus Clay from WWE.
Jeez.
And we had been at WildKat. We booked him. He was scheduled.
Okay.
And they were hopefully, seeing if I could go head to head with him, which would have been pretty cool. I don't know how well I'd have fared, but I'd have hit him with something. It was going to be for an X-rated show.
Okay.
And he ducked us. You know, and you got to remember, WildKat Sports has had the best in professional wrestling. You know, we have on our roster, active roster, you have Bob Holly and Stevie Richards.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? We've had legends like Scott Hall come through there, Ron Simmons, Brian Kendrick, who's a former WWE Cruiserweight champion. Like, he hasn't had it in a long time, but I mean, he's just one of the recent guys from 205 Live. So, I mean, like, we've had some amazing people come through the school, and then this guy's just be like, no, I don't want to do it. That's whatever. So, we see him at the at the movie.
Yeah.
The shoot. And we have our posters up, and the posters got the $1 Million Man on it. We got Ted DiBiase coming in.
Right.
And I was told Bob Manders to be like, find out why he didn't come. Flat out ask him why. Other obligations. Okay, no problem. So he figures out that we weren't just guys that loved pro wrestling, that marks.
Yeah,
he realized
right.
we were workers.
Yeah.
And so we're doing this scene outside, and they got to muscle through the crowd where they purposely put me, Johnny Flex, Hall Body Harper, all of the wrestlers right there. They do the first scene, and oh boy, barrels through us. He did really good. And he knocks us out the way and everything. And Brodus Clay looks at him, he says, hey, those guys ain't sissies. You lay it in on them. I'm like, why don't you come to a show, lay it in, bro? What are you doing?
Wow.
I didn't say that. I'm not going to lie.
Right.
Brodus Clay is a massive of a man.
To answer the earlier question, Clancy Brown is who we're talking about.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But super nice guy. Man, like, okay, so that was my first movie, but I didn't realize, like, the makeup went well past the collar line, like, almost to the middle of the pecs.
Okay.
Like, I never... But I'm sitting here and I'm like, man, he looks rough. And like, but I mean, come on. What's he, in his 60s now?
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
We're going to, 10-second Brian. You got this? 10-second Brian.
Yeah.
But it was cool to be on a set with him one night. Like, even Day-Day, Mike Epps.
Yeah, right.
Super cool guy. He's way taller than I thought he was. I figured he'd be smaller, but.
It's the voice.
Yeah, you know. Met a lot of cool people on that set. I finally got my stuff from Tim Lottie. You talk about me riding Tim Lottie. Oh, hold on.
Well, didn't he owe you a Thanos picture?
No, not Thanos. Apocalypse. That. I hope he listens to this. Dude, I'm telling you, it took me 2 years to get. I'm sorry, you might have to turn. I'm passionate about this. I apologize. So it took me 2 years to get him to do a sketch of Apocalypse that I asked him. I asked him 2 years before that at a Comic-Con. He's like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Yes, my kid's going to graduate from college too, you ass. So I finally get it. Great. And then he's like, I'm going to give you proofs. Well, it took another 18 years. I see him on the set of the movie, and I did not hold back. You're going to have to bleep this. I look at him. I was like, hey, you got my proof? A room full of people. I thought security was going to throw me out. And he starts dying. You know, Glad he gets super red.
Yeah.
And you think he's going to pop like a pimple. And sure enough, I hand him my print. And, of course, everybody, all my students are like, how'd you get that? And I was like, that dude, he owed that to me.
That's like Robbie Musso still owes me a Starscream. I've been, like 2 years I've been busting his balls about it.
I've been saying forever that I want to get Russo to tutor my daughter, and he was very willing to do it. I just haven't talked to him anymore about it, and I'm a terrible father.
Did you see John Malkovich on set?
No, he wasn't there when I went, but I did get to talk to who's the dude? He was the younger guy out of all of them.
Ryan Quanten?
Yeah, from True Blood or whatever. I got to talk with him. He was super cool, man, like really cool. He came to me several times, and then the chick, I got to talk to her. She seemed nice.
Maggie Grace?
Yeah, Maggie.
Yeah.
She seemed nice.
Oh, maybe.
All right.
Well, I don't want to. We talk about it another time if you want.
All right, that's cool.
She was cool. She really was. She was cool. You know, mellow.
I did think it was funny because since it's a con atmosphere, the super con, right? You know that all the artists that were there were actually drawing just like they would be.
It was funny. It really was. And they even said that you could buy things, but you can't touch anything because it belongs to the people.
Right.
What was it? They saw me in my gear, fell in love. Flamingos on my face. I have pictures of it on my Facebook, and I'm like, okay. And everybody's like, why did they do that? I'm like, you not see the big flamingos on my gear?
Right.
They did the same thing for NCIS New Orleans. I got to do an episode of that. Hawks is actually in that episode as well. Luke Hawks.
Yeah, was that the gamer episode?
Yeah, it was the gamer episode.
Okay.
They did the stunt on one take. The humidity was terrible that day, and they had been trying to wipe up the floors on the set so people wouldn't slip. And they come through, and you can see it, and they shoot. Hawks is one of the thugs with a gun. He's shooting, and you see when he gets shot, he throws himself back like he's supposed to, and he slips though. And the junction box that's on the wall, he slipped and smoked his head on that, split him open. They got it, one take, first take, everything done. Took him straight to the hospital. We had Philadelphia in 2 weeks after that.
Wow,
the first Philadelphia show when he lost to Stevie Richards.
Damn.
Yeah, at the ECW arena. But I mean, that was the set. Once I got in that set, they looked at because like I put my gear on, I tried out, went in, they took pictures, and they were like, "Oh, it's great," and then they like bring that exact stuff to the set. And when you saw me that day, I go and I get dressed, and they're like, "Oh my God, you're the Flamingo guy." Yes, I'm. What did you hear? Who have you been talking to? So, I mean, I was like, I'm excited, you're excited. I don't know. Like, you're used to this. You get it way more. I don't care what you say. You get it way more than I do.
Okay, sure.
You don't.
What?
Oh, my God, it's Uncle Celebrity Brian. Oh, my
I've
God.
heard that more than I've heard, oh, my God, it's Danny. I mean, I get, oh, my God, you Danny Flamingo, aren't you? I get it all the time. It's great. Not all the time, but I'm sure you get it more than I do.
Oh, okay. I'm not keeping tally.
Why not? You don't want to compare and see who's bigger? Come on.
Things are getting weird in the studio, guys.
Don't make it weird. Look, is that why you're in the other room, Dave?
Made it weird.
Yeah. Made it weird? Okay. You made it weird. I didn't make it weird. So, yeah, back to X-Men movies. What are you playing?
Oh,
Christmas Story.
Oh, fudge.
I missed it.
Yeah. So... Can you hear that? Yeah. So SuperCon, NCIS New Orleans, anything else you've been on?
I had an opportunity. I didn't get it, but I was one of few that was up for grabs on Cloak and Dagger.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Cloak and Dagger. That went to Hardbody Harper.
Okay.
Kudos to him. He's a stunt man.
Yeah.
I actually know a guy, they rented his balcony out or whatever for the scene, I believe it was. And I don't know what it was. Somebody getting thrown into another person or whatever.
Okay.
But you had to be like I don't even remember what it was. The part was, but I just knew I was up for it, and I was really excited.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. It doesn't even matter. The fact I was in the running, that's all that matters to me. It's okay.
That's cool. You know, season 2 is filming right now.
The funny thing was, my daughter was watching season 1, and she stops and she comes for the season finale. And she walks in the bedroom. She's like, "Dad, is Mr. Luke in Cloak and Dagger?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that."
Yeah.
She's like, "What the hell, Dad?" You'll be all right, dude.
Yeah. All right. No, that's cool.
I mean, it's not as much as I want it to be as far as acting work, but I mean, who knows? I mean, it's WildKat sports and entertainment.
Yeah.
So it's not just wrestling.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the same thing when people come through the school because, we train referees, valets, managers. You don't have to be just a pro wrestler. And that's what I tell people. It's fantastic. Aside from the product we have, the school that we have. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you look at it right now, we have a class of 17 to 19-year-old guys fresh out of high school.
Nice.
You imagine what those dudes would be doing if there wasn't something like WildKat Sports?
Yeah, getting in some trouble.
But I mean, think about it. For young teen boys, man, it's a high probability. You know, if they get bored. We actually have a female student as well. I mean, nice. she the Silks. You ever heard of Silks?
Mm-mm. From the ceiling.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
She used to do Silks. Super nice girl. Definitely a beast. Like she is not scared of anything. Like nice. And I tell some of these guys like they're learning how to do headlocks. And I'm telling these guys, I'm like, if you keep on grabbing her, you grab her like a chick. I tell you what, I don't know who's going to get pissed first, me or her. Because she's not there for that.
Yeah.
She's there to learn how to be a pro wrestler, and she does not want to be taking it lightly. And that's part of the reason why these not divas, but the women's division, from the knockouts of TNA and all the girls at NXT and the WWE roster, they put on men caliber matches.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can segue from anything into wrestlers.
No, it's all good. Well, how long have you been doing wrestling?
5 years.
5 years? Really?
It feels like longer. Some people think
it was like remember a Pensacola Con? We were like I thought you had been doing it for a while. That was like 4 years ago, huh?
Yeah, I was only maybe a year in the ring at that point because I trained for 9 months before I had my first match.
Young, dumb, and full of...
Yeah, exactly right.
So
exactly right.
So I'm guessing that this mouth has always been like this, right?
It's a gift. It's a gift, man.
Because like seeing you, like at the comic shop or wherever, and it's just you turn it on so friggin' fast. It's almost like you're never off.
It's hard because I'm a man of many talents. I have jobs. I have to feed my kids.
Yeah.
I support my family, so I have 2 jobs in the city. and it forces me to talk to people. And sometimes I wish I want it off in the morning. If you catch me in the morning when I'm at work at 6 o'clock in the morning, it's usually off. It's on low, something like that.
Right.
And it isn't until a few hours later that I turn it on. It's like, okay, but. It was the same thing when I was a kid, man. It's it's hard to turn it off, and if I get going, man, I just look at it and be like, "Hey, sorry, my bad. It happens." I don't,
So you were always in trouble as a kid, is what you're saying?
Oh man, I stayed. See, and that was one good thing is as a kid, like any of my teachers, I remember fondly that they would say, "If Devin did it, he'd tell you." If Devin did it, he'd tell you. So I mean, it's my thing is I was always taught you ain't got nothing nice to say to somebody, don't say nothing at all. So I don't. But if I don't like you or I want you to find out about it and I can't tell you to your face, I'll tell somebody else and be like, you go ahead, tell him what I said. You tell him come talk to me. And look, I've had my behind kicked more than once. I don't think I'm the baddest guy on the planet. I've had people tell me when I walk through the curtain, I look like I am. I think I am. But if I don't have that mindset, why should anybody else believe I am?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's not hard to turn it off, but it's hard to get it going. I find in my 30s.
Oh, if you walk on stage and there's an ounce of doubt in you, you're boned right there. That's it. I mean, what was that? The Universal Circus. Like I knew I had to do a couple of things, but they didn't tell me what they were. Like the magic show, that one was easy. I did a few things. We did one walkthrough. I was like, whatever, no big deal. But the hardest part was like they hand me a microphone. As people are filing in, they're like, yeah, just go up there, talk for 60 seconds and, get the crowd jumped up and, get them ready to start the show. I'm like, what do you want to talk about? They're like, I don't know. I'm like, all right, give me the mic, whatever. And so,
we got this.
Yeah,
Let's do
right.
it.
So
Come
I just
on.
walk out and I do it, but if I'd have walked out there, hi, Universals, hi, yeah, are you having fun? Oh, dude, they'd have eaten you alive. You walk out there like your balls are as big as the city, and you're like, how y'all doing? Come on, let's do this thing.
I'm going to get you to come to the school one day because that is something because the way we structure it, we teach everybody everything, and promos are a big part of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you have to be able to do the physical attributes and get in the ring and whatnot, but we also need you to be able to talk to people because we're very interactive. You come to a show, you guys have seen it.
Yeah.
At an intermission, you can meet anybody.
Yeah.
You can meet anybody.
Right.
You could talk to Scott Hall on the way to the bathroom, on the way to the locker room. You know what I'm saying? It's not uncommon to bump into Bob Holly in the parking lot. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like we tell these guys, we're cutting promos and stuff, and we're teaching them, and it's like, okay, you should probably do this and probably not do that. We're talking earlier about and
Right.
You cannot say and like it's not, no. You
Right.
know what I mean? And but I tell them all the time, I'm like, what are you going to do if Vince McMahon walks up to you and gives you a microphone and says, go take 60 seconds?
you better take the mic and get that your ass out there.
I mean, it takes upwards of almost $1 million a week to produce Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Almost $1 million a week, and Vince McMahon wants to give you 60 seconds. Do the math on that. I mean,
Right.
it's several $1,000s, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Those,
right?
Oh, yeah.
Those are those instances that come around very seldom in life. And if you, I forgot what the stupid adage is. It says like preparation and opportunity make for luck, in essence, is what it
Yeah.
is. Because if you're not ready and you haven't kind of worked yourself up for that, you never know when that opportunity is going to come. But if you've been working at it and preparing yourself for it, you make your own kind of luck. But when those situations come up,
You're ready.
If you are meek, if you are just mild mannered, if you can't flip that switch, I mean, Alexa Bliss, dude, the highest praise I got was 6 a.m, and we're doing an interview with her, and everybody's dragging ass, walking around with coffee. She's just it's freaking 6 a.m. and they're doing the radio tour.
Yeah.
And so we turn on the microphones and it's like, all right, welcome back into the D League with D Squared. Or was it the Week in Geek?
Oh, it was the Week in Geek. It was Week in Geek.
and I
You
had
got
my-
Alexa Bliss on the Week in Geek?
yeah, dude. I had the cowboy hat on, but it was funny because before we even turn on the microphones, I'm like, hey, this is my guy Skungy, and look, these guys are with Duncan Holt. They're going to be on Sports 1280. Just sit right here. When we're done, we'll knock this out, and then we'll go over there. So I'm doing the producer side of the I got you squared away. But then as soon as the mic comes on, I'm like, welcome back. This is the Week in Geek. I'm your boy D Squared along with, and Skungy was right there. Alexa Bliss is out hanging out with us tonight. Bing, bang, boom. And it's funny because she goes, wow, I like the energy. I was like, you turn it on. You got to flip that switch. Alexa, how do you flip your switch? Exactly.
Oh,
And
my God.
she looks at me, that little hesitation like, you bastard. But she was like, well, you have to be ready for the moment. And bam, bam, bam. It's funny because everybody's going, you just asked if she masturbates. Is basically what I said.
Bruh.
How you flip that switch,
Bruh.
Alexa?
Man, I tell you what. Jesus Christ.
Look, so I hang out a whole bunch at the Bad Wolf Bar and Grill, right?
Right.
And we're doing some event. There's like a raffle, like a charity raffle or something. And the owner, Alicia, comes up to me and she's like, put out your hand. And I'm like, okay. And she puts a microphone in my hand and she's like, get your ass on stage and start, making an announcement.
Boo-boo,
and I'm like, oh, that's how we, and her friend was like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean it. And I'm like, no, she's give me a mic and let me talk to people. It's cool, right? And so I get up there and I'm like, hey, everybody, this is Brian Held. I'm from the Week in Geek radio show, and like just instant promo mode, right? And, doing all this stuff. And when I got off a stage and finished the announcements.
Had you been drinking?
Maybe I had a beer, but it doesn't matter.
That's no fun.
Right? But the thing is, I get off stage and Alicia's like, I'm taking notes. And I'm like, what are you talking? She's like, you didn't miss a second to start promoting you in the show. And she's like, I'm freaking taking notes. And then,
that's reps. Okay.
But the next time I see her, she's like, look, Brian, I'm really trying. All right. There was this lady and I was like, hi, my name is Alicia. I own the Bad Wolf Bar and Grill. And the lady was like, ma'am, I'm just trying to take your order. You want fries with that? And I'm like, Alicia, you got to know your audience. Right?
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. So.
I was just saying it's reps though too, because it's funny like when Brian and I are sitting at these conventions and stuff, it's like it's almost like I don't even know how to explain it. It's like we're not doing the shtick. It's just we've said it so many times. It's just like, as always, want to strongly urge you to check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Week in Geek. Now, Brian, how can people listen to this lovely show?
Yeah.
And boom, we've been doing this for 5 freaking years. So I mean, it's almost like we could close our eyes and just say it, and the same thing is like when we do all these like panels or just at the conventions, you get up on stage, it's like, all right, whatever. And I mean, I've always kind of been like that. My mother put my ass in private voice lessons in first grade because I sang "I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus" in front of 1,000 people and didn't bat an eye.
I thought I was special, man. I'll tell you what.
Oh, dude, man. I mean, I've lived my entire life in front of crowds, so that's why it's like, whatever. You give me a microphone, I'll sing "I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus." If nothing comes to my mind, I'll be like, "I saw Mommy kissing."
It's his go-to.
Yeah.
I like it.
Santa Claus underneath that Christmas tree all night. Yes,
Please tell me there's some kind of video of this.
Why you got to make it weird?
Because I got to do the dolphin.
I was going to say
2 fingers, not the thumb.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
I was gonna say it's great to watch how turn off and on, but like it's like his is always on.
His is always on.
Because I've heard your radio voice as opposed to your real voice.
Yes,
and there isn't much difference, but there is a difference.
There is a difference. Yes,
I do feel like I need to go shower afterwards, but either that or masturbate, whichever.
I know you feel dirty when he's done.
Or aroused,
dude. Mark back. Look.
On tonight's episode of the Week in Geek Radio Show, Brian Held makes you melt from a mile away. Can you really? Find out tonight, 7 o'clock. Brian Held making men moist.
Dude, turn it off.
No, that is great. That is why you are the greatness that you are.
So we did that Star Wars radio play, the rewrite of Episode 1 over at Southport Hall, right? And it was probably about 2.5 hours, right, to get through the whole thing. We had a full voice cast, music, sound effects, all that stuff. And when I'm being professional and on, I don't drink alcohol, right? You drink water. That's it, And as soon as we were done, I go straight to the bar. I'm like, give me a beer. And Mark Bagnetto, the owner, he's like, he puts that beer in front of me, and he's like, I need you to come to my house and narrate my life.
It's 3 a.m. He feels the call of nature once again. He rises from his slumber, takes 4 steps to the master bedroom, unzips his nightly fly.
Don't stop.
Drip, drip, trickle, trickle. Curse you, prostate! Thou hast enlarged for the last time. My urine must flow.
I can't.
Sorry. Tonight on The Week in Geek, Brian gets his second narration gig, narrating your life. Only on The Week in Geek.
Oh my God, I both love and hate that sounder so much.
And what's funny is now you want to sit there and tell me that you don't want to compare notes of who gets it more, you or me.
Right.
Go to hell.
Tonight on The Weekend Geek, soon at WildKat Wrestling, 2 gigolos battle it out. Who can smack that ass better? Find out. WildKat Wrestling, Christmas Day. All right, what is your show again, butthole?
Oh, God.
See, you got to bring it back to business.
Yes.
Back to business.
Let's get back.
Christmas Day, December 25th. That's a Tuesday over at Meisler at 3700 Cleary Avenue. Tickets are $10 at the door, $15 for floor seats, and $20 for front row.
Yes. If you're lucky. And everything is family friendly. We film everything for TV. Every Saturday and Sunday night, we're on WPLMI 54.
All right.
On Saturdays, we're on at 11. And then the replay is at midnight.
You said that with force. 11? Maybe?
I'm pretty confident.
What we said about being meek, right?
I know, God. On the Weekend Geek of WildKat Wrestling, Danny Flamingo let go for being a mild-mannered only on The Weekend Geek. You have to bleep that one out. Sorry, I couldn't stop myself.
Oh my God.
It's fine. There's going to be so many bleeps. How long?
Not nearly as many as it could be.
We've been talking for like 32 minutes now at this point.
All right, that's cool. This is just
really.
Where can people get tickets besides your back pocket?
It's wildcatwrestling.com. Is that right?
Yes. We encourage people, by all means, please.
Don't run up to any random dude in pink and be like, "Hey, you got tickets, bro?"
No.
I got tickets to the gun show. Bam, bam.
Right here, baby. Right here. I found that shirt recently. I had one of those with the stick guy. I totally had, and then I threw it away. It was pretty bad off. I tell people that I enjoy selling the tickets the way I do. It allows me to be personable.
That sounds so messed up.
This guy here. See, look, can't get him out.
Now
of
you
it.
gotta hit it. Now you gotta hit it.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Look at that.
Come on.
You ain't getting it. No. A whole bag of these just for you, buddy. Oh, just for you.
Tonight on The Weekend Geek, Danny Flamingo selling his body to get tickets out to you.
Look, hey, I do what I gotta do for the cause, huh? Oh, here
Danny Flamingo. Put your hands together for Danny Flamingo.
Out on the
That's
stage.
a nip slip out on the stage, making it rain. Sorry, okay. We're back.
Okay.
Oh, I'm down. Whatever you got. It's fine. Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
Right, where were we?
We were talking about.
For the record, it is 11 p.m. on Saturdays and midnight on Sundays.
All right. That's cool. And Meisler Auditorium, December 25th.
Our very first Christmas show. This is pretty exciting. I mean,
Yeah.
let's be honest. And again, like we had said earlier, the only time you saw wrestling on Christmas or Thanksgiving was in the 80s.
Right.
I didn't go to any of it, but that's what I was told.
Right. Well, because you were just a kid.
Yeah, I was born in 83, and, so I really enjoy hanging out with you guys because I don't feel as old.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
No problem. I mean, it's pretty awesome. I mean, but y'all got 10 years on me at least, right?
No.
Your birthday was Friday.
Yeah.
As you constantly remind us like a teenage girl.
You're 31?
No, I'm 35. 35. I turned 35 in August.
Yeah.
He's got 8 years on me.
Yeah, I got 9 on him.
Yep.
So, yeah, well,
yeah.
Wisdom, old age and wisdom will beat out youth and cunning every single time.
I agree with that until your hip goes out.
Yeah, well.
One shall stand, one
Right.
shall fall.
He's really good at that, isn't he?
He is really good at that.
I am like a giant child with all these buttons and doodads and little lights I can push and make things happen. It's fun.
Why do I feel like I'm not the first guy you've said that to?
You sure got to purr him out, Danny Flamingo.
And look, he pushes my buttons all my time. So.
Now you made it weird again.
He did.
God dang it,
Here
man.
it comes. You did.
I
make
didn't
it
mean
weird.
that in a good way.
Sure you didn't.
Oh, my God.
All right.
But
so,
yeah, X-Men, comics, movies, wrestling.
Star Trek.
Making it weird, Star Trek.
Yep.
Look, when I told you before we were talking, I'm telling you, I sat outside, talked about Star Trek for an hour. I can talk about wrestling for hours, too. I mean, it's just one of them things. I mean, you think about the one thing and you could go on and on and on about, it's the same thing with wrestling. I mean, that's what I told you. I was like, hey, we talk more than just about wrestling.
Right. No, absolutely. That's why we wanted you in here. So, all right.
Yes.
All right.
Are we done with him?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
You have enough content? Do you have enough? I mean, is there anything else any kind of thing you want to play?
I I've got. There's too much to choose from.
Yeah.
Good news, everyone.
Don't encourage bad behavior, please.
Whether you wanted, I should have told you this before. It just came to me. But you can always test my geek.
Okay.
If you want to do questions for Star Trek related. So you think about that for the next time I come on.
Okay.
You know, so I mean,
we'll get some Star Trek trivia up in here.
Granted, yours wasn't as strong as I thought it was. I mean, I gave you a little more credit than, just because it's okay.
Look, Dave can't remember last week. Like, you got to cut him a little slack.
But if I ask him about a blonde, a brunette, and a redhead.
Yes.
There's no intelligent life here.
Sorry.
We could talk about a blonde, brunette, and redhead all day long, too.
There you go. All right. Well, this, I think, closes out the Twig supplemental.
Yes. Wait. Here. Let's.
Oh, jeez. Oh, yes.
It's the exit music.
Fair enough. All right.
Sachet, you worked that, Danny.
Write that down,
all right,
baby. It's a beautiful thing.
For all our podcast listeners and for the folks out on the Edge Radio US, making rock and roll great again, thanks for tuning in. We love you. See you next week.